What up? Just gonna check out this reaction to Adam firing almighty suspect, aka Dodson, fucking from No Jumper.
I have an announcement. Many of you are probably expecting this. As of today, Almighty Suspect will no longer be a host on No Jumper. For
What?
anyone who's living in a hole in the ground, there was a confrontation last night between Brandon, aka Bucci Bear, aka Dark Brandon.
Look at Lush just scared shitless as fuck, thinking that he's next on the chopping block to get fired. He's probably just thinking, oh, thank God they didn't mention my name. Fuck.
And Almighty Suspect that resulted in both spit flying and a knife being pulled out. Both of these are infractions that I fear we just cannot tolerate as a business. You know, many times over the past couple of years, I've looked back at the Kelpie incident and I have felt like I was a little too lenient. Like, I feel like that incident,
Is that
even though
Combo
we managed
Raider
to
next to Lush? What
escape,
the fuck?
essentially, because we got Kelpie to sign off on suing us, I think it was extremely lenient of us.
He got very lucky that Kelby didn't fucking sue him, man. He totally could have sued him and got a bag from that, man. Totally could. His face was bloody and fucked up.
To not fire Sus at that time. And I'm not going to lie, there's been a couple times since then, in particular with the whole Jalise thing, where it really, really felt like he was on the border of attacking her. That got a little scary for me and made me feel like, Jesus Christ, maybe this is not okay. But yeah, I just feel like we just can't tolerate.
Look at
that
those
kind of stuff
thighs,
here.
man.
It's
God
just way over the line.
damn,
I have
for
nothing against him. I
Jala.
told him I have nothing bad to say about him. I'm not gonna come on here and trash him. I'm not gonna treat him like a
Elephant
shark
legs,
or
man.
anything
God
like that.
damn.
But as a business, the liability associated with having somebody on camera who we have like essentially no assurance is not going to fly off the handle like that. It's just too big of a risk, and it's just not the kind of platform that I want to run at this point. I mean, honestly, the loose cannon situation has been a very bad look for the brand. There's definitely been artists who are just straight up like scared to come here to do interviews because of the fact that they've seen that clip and they just feel like violence is just a normal everyday thing here. So
So it's official. The pimps are out of the building. No more pimps at fucking No Jumper. Sharp's gone, and now Almighty Dodson is fucking gone too. No more pimps in the building. No more sex trafficking going on at No Jumper. Joking around. I'm just saying that they're not sex trafficking nobody. I'm just joking around. I'm just saying, but the pimping is over. No more pimping going on at No Jumper.
incident from last night, not a good look, and we just have to take sort of decisive action in order to avoid that. Now, was Brandon instigating? I think that's fair to say, but that being said, instigating with words is one thing. And if maybe this had been brought to me afterwards and it had been said like, oh, look at the way that Brandon was talking to him, blah, 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 maybe then it would have been a conversation. But the reality is that Sus is the one who got physical.
It looks like fucking
And
Frederick Jala and
to me,
Brandon got the suspect the fuck up out of here,
the spit
man.
alone or the knife alone, it would have been an easy decision. It being both of them at the same time, you know, it's an easy decision. Now, I will address this narrative that I know that a lot of people probably want to run with, since apparently Flacco ran with it in his video. Lush, do you feel like you're at fault?
Not at all. Just like 0%. But I think the whole way it transpired is really unfortunate, and I wish that there is a way that
Lush, you're doing shots like 4 shots back to back to back. Right when she was about to pop off like that, like in the middle of the shit popping off, you start hitting shots back to back, like fucking like what? You're supposed to be in control of this shit, man. Like you had everything but anything, but fucking under control, man. Like you were not fucking boss material, I guess. I don't know what fucking Nobody's listening to a word you're fucking saying, and you're like, just everybody chill out, fool. Like, everybody just chill out. We're getting along so great and shit. Like, nobody was even paying you no mind, man.
Have to have this result. Like, I understand from a business perspective why,
Course Lush
you
is
know,
not going to take no
that
blame.
can't be tolerated, and obviously, especially considering the negative stigma that's already kind of lingering as a result of the loose incident and things like that. But I just, the whole intention when we did the when Brandon debated against I Hypocrite and subsequently debated against me was to try to give people a variety in the type of content that we have over here. Because I feel like, there's been a consensus that we've been somewhat pigeonholed in certain genres of street rumors and activity, etc. And this is kind of like our attempt to ease our way back into highbrow content, or at least a balance, a variety of content.
I mean, a lot of us watch Jubilee. It's like one of the most popular channels on YouTube. I love that kind of content. For me, yeah, creating those debates was an easy decision. That being said, I feel like you're trying to pivot away from the fact that you wanted to get Suspect out the paint so bad that you set him up in an environment in which you knew that he would resort to violence because you still hold a lingering animosity towards Suspect because of the way that he
laid you out,
knocked you on your ass.
It's actually quite the opposite. It's me, because if you look at it like this, what is the whole number one talking point of the white nationalists, of the racists, of the hypocrites of the world, of the Nick Fuenteses of the world, is that quote unquote, per this is what they say, black men have low impulse control, black men are unable to blah 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 blah. And that was kind of what Brandon's intention was when he came over here as an agent of chaos, similar to the agent of chaos that he was in the Tariq Nasheed orbit. You feel me?
But to call Brandon an agent of chaos, when even like
I think it's a perfect description of him.
Okay, but even when the show started, from like my perspective, like if the goal was to have them two sit down, talk out their issues, and have like a neutral field, even like when like they began like to argue, you could like clearly tell from like your laugh and laugh and it felt like, oh, okay, this felt like a pile on Brandon, and it kind of felt like okay, is he coming around because y'all enjoy him, or is he coming around because you felt like, let's get one up on Brandon today? And that's why, and I felt like once it was going left, again, not just you, but everybody in like in the room had a responsibility to sort of like say, hey, yo, chill. But even, okay, for example, even before like their sit down, but what I told everybody, again, my plan was to come here and say, as a team, we thought it was good to have them sit down and on camera. But since y'all opened up the rabbit hole, I said before him, what? Hey, bruh, this will end bad. Do this, do this, do this, do this. And everybody said, no.
Which is true. Which is true. Now
I predict everything that happened.
I was on the road, and for the record, in the group chat, I just want to lay out how this went.
Yeah.
It was brought up in the group chat. Adam's not here. Who should we have on the Tuesday show? Lush said, let's get Brandon and Suspect together. And then, you might want to scroll up a little bit. You reached out to them, and they both, obviously Brandon was down from the beginning, but I was informed that Suspect was down for it.
And in the debate, too, he even brought up the fact that he wanted Suspect and Brandon to sit down.
Who brought that up?
Again, I ain't watching, but you told me that.
Okay. So let's clarify a few things. To address to your first point, as far as from a moderation perspective, could I have done better?
You was laughing hard every time Suspect said something. It was
Hey! Stop trying to compete for King Glazer. All right?
Oh my God! Come on, man.
This is already my title.
Okay, sorry.
You don't need to cuff the balls that much, all right? So yeah, just grab them.
You gotta do that.
Little nails feels great.
I'll let loose. You feel me? And off the ball.
So here's the thing. Number one, could me objectively, when I look at myself, because I hold myself to a really high standard, could I have been a better moderator? Absolutely. Now let's look at some of the things that I was dealing with, the unforeseen. I was not aware of the full extent of the lineup until 2 hours before the podcast. And then, so keep in mind, I'm trying to do multiple things at the same time. make sure we get good content.
But it's your show.
Hold on.
Where?
I'm towing the line between, because we like conflict. We like arguments. We like that energy. The whole point of No Jumper is controllable chaos. But when it becomes uncontrollable, that's where motherfuckers got to intervene. Now,
But don't get past that line, though.
Hold on.
I wasn't aware. Why wasn't you aware? It's your show. When Adam isn't here, it's your show.
I am not the producer of the show. I'm the A mic when Adam's not
Nigga,
here.
it's yours. Okay.
Right. So these conversations, regardless, I'm not trying to.
Wait, pause. Okay, sorry. A producer gives suggestions. Meaning this, okay? If I'm on right, like Thursday show, okay? I don't care if Josh and Remo says, "Hey, yo, let's have these three." No, nigga, no. If I want for these two people to be here, they're gonna be here. I mean, if Adam isn't here, it's your show. Did they?
Well, clearly I don't have that juke because when I brought 150 people here and they weren't even allowed in the building.
You could have told Josh and Remo
that narrative out the water.
Like intentional.
No juice card.
No.
Just to be fair.
Okay.
If I really had juice to that degree,
You might not have known, though, right? But again, if Adam isn't here, this is yours. And if Josh and Remo says, "Hey, bro, bring these," no, you can say, "No, I want
no.
suspect Brandon and."
Let me clarify. I was very happy with the panel.
Okay,
you feel me? But here's the thing.
Did anybody know Bizarre was coming? I had no idea.
I didn't know until.
So they sprung that on you guys too. Huh?
Yes, I knew an hour and a half before, which I was, Bizarre's my friend in real life. I was excited about that.
Shout out Bizarre, yeah.
Shots of Bizarre, that was awesome. I wish he could have been there longer. Now,
was he still there? Was he there when the fight took place?
He had a video shoot with Be Real that night, so he did beforehand and shit.
Which I thank God, right? Because that would have been a terrible.
I mean, thank God. But he probably could have helped with the security. He's a big dude. He could have, maybe.
It would have been a little bit more viral with Bizarre. I mean, really, they just kept the camera on. Well, honestly, we have that camera.
No, we have the angles.
The funniest shit about it, honestly.
Lush is getting fucking burnt here. Poetic Jala has got it out for Lush, obviously, man.
The way that Munchie did this. Munchie went. Got some popcorn. You got popcorn up. I don't know exactly what happened in his brain, but he popped into a squat.
Yeah.
And look,
The blind blood. Munchie V.
Yeah, that's what I was worrying about when I was watching it too. Yeah.
And we know that I'm not the most physically imposing figure, but if you watch the footage, I did hop up and try to get in the mix. There's been other times where I didn't, and this time I did.
And who was the security guard? He looked like he was
He's the man.
Yeah, he was always at the store and stuff. He's super good. Yeah.
Push Brandon back.
He's super small. He's not really.
He's not super small.
He's a lot smaller than Brandon.
Okay.
He's smaller than Brandon, that's for damn sure.
Yeah.
But look, so Flacco, keep in mind, I'm trying to make entertaining content, keep the show flowing with topics, make sure that we get the clips that we're supposed to be getting, and simultaneously make sure Bizarre's included and our other hosts, and not look like a, you feel me? Which is a crazy thing when me and Brandon have this not contentious relationship, because me and Brandon are actually hella cool. But
not really though, man.
No, really though.
I'm not gonna let you get that off, man.
No, we really are actually.
We have some issues, but I don't think we
don't
hate each other, right?
We have no issues.
True, but super cool is not even a viable option.
They did a debate.
Yeah.
Cooler than you think we are.
I did a debate, and I mean, he gave you a hard time about being a druggie a little bit, or an alcoholic, or whatever, and he kind of called you a glazer and a wannabe black dude type shit, whatever.
And the sky's blue.
Yeah, I mean,
Lush. Thing is this, bro. You tried your best. So again, by no means am I saying it's on you. I'm saying.
No, you made a whole video with that implication already. Before that, nobody was even thinking that. I get hella inboxes. This is your fault, Lush.
I'm saying, right, in the future, man, because for me, when I look at this scenario.
Jala's laying on thick, man. What a motherfucker, dude.
I told you beforehand, this would happen. And I laid down all my reasons why this would happen. And it kind of went ignored. And I'm saying is this, okay? Even with the aspect of your...
Is Kumba rated as mute? Does he not talk or something like that? What the fuck's up with this guy beside Lush, man?
This thing, he got a new number. And I guess Josh had been
Who is this guy?
Number. I didn't know he had a new number. Josh had been hitting up his
fucking
previous
dying
number.
to find out,
at
man.
the end of the day, it would have been nice for him to know way in advance, but he didn't know, and he ended up showing up regardless. And he knew that he was going to be on camera with somebody that he doesn't get along with. And I see a lot of people saying, Brandon is so confrontational.
Settle down with the jean shorts there, fucking 16. Holy, buddy.
but that suspect also, opened it up into
Looking
the
a
realm
little
of physical violence,
suspect.
which is
You know what I
something that
mean?
I just don't
No
want
pun
this podcast
intended.
to be like, male baddies. So they,
Yeah,
that's
sometimes
what
they call him like a first, which again,
Several times.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But
Right.
hold on.
Honestly.
Like, Adam, remember what we discussed last week on the No Jumper Show? Triggers. You know what I mean?
Don't stab me. That's my trigger. Don't fillet me.
No Swiss Army fileros. You feel me? But on top of that,
You
like
feel me?
you said, which is pretty obvious, your kid is like a line that people can never cross. And have echoed those sentiments, and he said the B word. I said I have no triggers. You say whatever you want to me, I'm not gonna turn up. You feel me? I might turn up and go crazy, but I'm not gonna. There's nothing that anybody can say that's gonna lead me to a physical confrontation.
I also just think though that like as long as we're talking triggers, not wanting someone to insult your kid is a much more reasonable trigger than the B word, which is a very common word.
For
Not
sure.
that common to call other dudes that, but
No, the B word. No.
but also suspect was saying it before Brandon started saying, and suspect kept calling him a fag and all this other shit, and it's
Yeah,
like
he was.
it's like I mean.
But okay, so what's the difference? So there is a difference, though, since we're talking about that now. There's a difference between elementary insults, literally like personal attacks. What did Suspect do to attack Brandon's character? Brandon is bringing up that's really like personal and potentially embarrassing about Sus. He's talking about, oh, you got put up or whatever, the BPS thing.
but
That's
who started that though?
Who started that?
Because when the show started, again, Brendan said, "Yo, let's just go to topics," and then wait, and then the topic started off with the assist shit, and then I feel like what like sparked it off was when suspect was like, "Yo, if you like did not attack me, you wouldn't be here. You ain't shit." And then he responded back with, "Well, if you acting right, like uncontrollable, I think he said like beta, then if that's what it took for me to be here, then like so be it." So I feel like and he was trying to do topics. Y'all
No.
have
Fuck
the
that.
back and forth.
Fuck up. You're wrong.
Okay.
No, and this is the
But
issue.
has that
No.
happened?
I have a huge issue with what you just said. Trying to do topics, we literally had Sharp in the title. Torso Gate was part of the title. The first two topics on the screen said Sharp's name. We're trying to discuss it. I'm bringing because it winds up becoming a random conversation about pimping and would you buy a purse and a bunch of random. Me as the A mic on the show, doing what I'm supposed to do to clip farm, which is what we do. I go back to Sharp because that's what he said. We ain't trying to talk about Sharp. You feel me? Like, nah, Les, you're not reading the room. I'm like, Dick, this is the topic that's predetermined. So don't talk about how he's not only that, then Young and Hefty's like, you know what? Because like obviously it got redundant at a certain point. Young and Hefty's all, yeah, let's go to the next topic, Nipsey Hussle. So I go, okay, next topic is Nipsey Hussle. We go start discussing that. Then all of a sudden, he's like, oh, I see what you're trying to do, Lush. You're trying to like pit black men against each other. You're trying to disgrace.
But he just thinks that certain topics is dumb and still want to talk about other topics. I'm saying at the 14
But he wasn't
minutes,
discussing the topics. You're mischaracterizing what
That
happened.
is very bad podcasting. Like, if there are topics to be discussed,
sure.
they should be discussed.
Common sense.
Give it 10 minutes because like rejecting topics and acting like you're too good to talk about them or whatever. I'm anti that.
Wow. Whoa, that's crazy, man. Fucking, shit just went fucking, pretty left for Lux there. Everybody fucking ganging up on him and shit. Not cool. Alright,